Hello, my name is Sean Smith with Joy Broadcasting Network. I am so pleased to be joined by a friend of mine. I think we were in a wedding together, right?
Could be true.
Yeah, we was in Phil's wedding together.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, they're not listening for that. I got with me Brandon Strawn. Brandon, introduce yourself for our audience.
Absolutely, yeah. My name is Brandon Strawn, and wait, hold on. I need to.
Who do you work with?
I was gonna say, am I dropping titles and all that?
Dropping titles, all of that stuff.
So I work with AdventHealth, specifically, actually recruiting the Adventist students into AdventHealth, trying to get them pipeline through internship programs, residency programs, and just making sure that our Adventist community, the parents, knowing that they're sending the kids to those Adventist schools, that they have a wonderful company to work with after graduating. Yeah.
Now, AdventHealth is a huge organization. So are you trying to, is it a pipeline for nursing? Is it a pipeline for doctors? What is it a pipeline into?
Yeah, so we have several different recruitment managers. For me, I manage the nursing pipeline and the non-clinical. So non-clinical involves business, finance, IT, HR, marketing, as well as some of the spiritual mission aligned positions that we have as well. But as far as what I do, of course, there are other recruitment managers that do it, do different functions, but we do it all. We do it all, really, yeah.
So what are some of the different Adventist schools that you are connected with with this pipeline?
Every single Adventist school.
Every single Adventist school.
From even Berman out in Canada. If you
never heard of that one. That's a good one.
Hopefully you get some listeners from Canada though. But
Berman, Canada?
Berman, yeah, it's an Adventist school out there.
Where in Canada is this school?
I'm actually not familiar or sure of the city.
Right.
But I know we've been there a couple of times.
Got you.
Some people on my team. But Loma Linda, La Sierra University, Oakwood, Andrews.
Say that one again. What school was that one?
La Sierra?
No, after that one.
Oakwood?
There we go, that one.
Oakwood.
So there's a pipeline from Oakwood to AdventHealth.
Yeah, so the thought process is that, right, we're spending time to partner with these individuals 2 to 3 years before they even graduate. So I always tell individuals, like, if you're a freshman, I get it's your first year, but you really need to be connecting with some of the seniors. And as we come to the schools, we even connect with the freshmen as well, just to give them an idea of, if you want to become an intern with AdventHealth, you really have to start working on that from your first year. Because if you try to do that in your senior year, you're almost too late, because we want to make sure that we can assist you in the process of developing professionally. We want to assist you in that, and that's why we want those interns to help them grow, that by the time they graduate, of course we want them to work with us, but as the AdventHealth mission is just extending the healing ministry of Christ and making sure that they're aligned, if you're going to work somewhere else, that's great. We're just glad that we were able to help prepare our Adventist community to go out into the world and be successful.
Now, Brandon, I've got a senior at one of our Adventist academies, about to be a freshman next year, potentially at one of our Adventist universities. What are some of the practical things that they should be doing as freshmen and sophomores to connect them to this pipeline? Is there application they need to put in? Is there an app they need to download? Does somebody need to email? What do they practically need to be doing their freshman and sophomore year to be a part of this pipeline?
That's a perfect question. So I'll cover the freshmen. So freshmen, our internship programs actually start for sophomores. So if you're a freshman, what I would be doing right now is getting an A in every class that you can, God willing, and then connecting yourself to a community that aligns with where you want to be. So I know college is an amazing, a fun place, and it should be, but I think you also, in thinking of what clubs you're engaging with, it should be something that can help give you a leg up, on the competition as you matriculate through your college career. So that's what I would say. I would say focus on your schooling, understand time management, and if you're going, when you do go out into any extracurricular activities or any clubs that you want to be a part of, that you're engaging with a community that can help you in the future. So I'll give you an example. If you're a finance major and you're going into your freshman year, I think it would be awesome for you to connect with the finance club on campus and figure out what that world looks like and learn as much as you can about that. But yeah, for sophomores for sophomores, because sophomores are eligible for our internship program, I would say what you're looking at doing is making sure those different communities and those clubs that you've been a part of in freshman year, that you are possibly becoming a vice president of that club, a president, or at least even a treasurer, having some type of leadership opportunity within one of these clubs, because a lot of our internship programs are built to help build leaders. And so sophomore year, I would be looking at how you can get into either a mid-level kind of leadership position and start assuming some responsibility and some accountability for the success of the school itself. Yeah.
When do you start taking applications for these internships?
Yes.
August of your sophomore year? When do they start applying for these internships?
So our internship application window starts at the end of July, and it closes in October, at the end of October.
Okay.
So that's the window. And the reason being is that our internship program actually it takes place in the summer. So this is a 11-week summer internship program. It is a paid internship program.
Come on now.
And we cover housing.
Come on now.
And so that is why we have to start so early. Even though the application window is starting in July, ending in October, it's because we have to make decisions by November. And then from December all the way to probably April or May before the internship program begins, we're making sure that we set you up with a preceptor for that internship program.
A who?
Preceptor.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, and so, AdventHealth wants to make sure in this internship program, you're not just getting people donuts and grabbing coffee.
Right.
You're contributing to real projects. Yeah, you're contributing to real projects, and we want to make sure that you have that. What we're seeking to do is connect what you're learning in the classroom and connect it to the workplace and make sure we can marry those two so that I think it's more enjoyable as you go through school saying like, okay, I learned this and here's how I can apply this. It makes education much sweeter.
For real. Now, so if I'm thinking about my son, so after his freshman year, that July after his freshman year, between July and October is when they should be putting the application in?
Correct.
Or the July or October after their sophomore year?
No, the July, October when they're entering their
sophomore year.
Because what happens is so if you complete your freshman year, you go through your summer and then you're going back to school.
Right.
That August would be the best time for you to submit your application as a sophomore, because by the time next summer rolls around, you'll be what we call a rising junior.
Oh, got you.
So yeah, sophomores and juniors are eligible.
Now let's talk about the specific internships that you offer. You mentioned non-clinical and also nursing is what is under your umbrella. Yep. So nursing, for me, that's easy to understand. But what do you mean by this non-clinical thing?
Yeah, so non-clinical, that's really just like the title that we give for, positions that aren't in, obviously the clinical space or like, working bedside, I would call it, right?
Gotcha.
Or therapy. So non-clinical encompasses business management.
Okay.
Human resources. Information technology. Finance and accounting majors.
Okay.
Marketing. Communications.
Okay.
And then if you're a theology major and you're interested in becoming a chaplain or interested in mission and ministry positions within AdventHealth, we also have a track as well in the internship.
I
Very
like
vast.
it.
And I think we're
it.
trying to break down the barrier of people assuming that, and not only people, but just students assuming that in healthcare they're really only looking for nurses, physicians, doctors.
That's how.
But there's so many other positions.
That's how I grew up. I figured, listen, and that's the only thing that Adventists promoted was being a doctor or a teacher. There
you go. So, that's the truth.
I didn't realize there were so many different avenues in terms of the medical field or even hospital work that was out there. So you mentioned business management. So how does business management intertwine with the hospital?
Yeah, that's a great question. So I'll give you a specific example. In business management, you're really understanding the operations of the hospital and making sure that because the hospital is still a business, and when we see hospital, we think, healing, right?
Yes.
And that is true, right? But it is still a business that has to operate and make sure that it's serving its community at the highest level, right? So hospital healthcare is community work. That's what it is. And so as a business management individual, and a great example would be if you're a business management intern and then maybe you become a business management resident, you may end up becoming the director of operations within a hospital. What does that mean? That means that if you're at this hospital and you're the director of operations, you're understanding how many people are coming into our emergency room. Because emergency room, depending on if you can triage that and get people out, or if you're not getting people out soon enough, then they're coming into the hospital and at what rate, right? And now we have to understand, well, do we have enough beds to house these individuals? So to give you an example, right, those business management students have the mind to understand, from a business standpoint, how do we develop the business? How do we make sure that we have the right flow within the hospital to make sure that we can serve as many people, but with the best care, right?
Gotcha.
And so they work on the data. They work on making sure that all of the different service lines is what we call them, whether it's ICU, whether it's ancillary, whether it's EVS, right? Making sure that all of that works in great, just a sweet science. Yeah.
Now, what about marketing? How does that relate as well?
Yeah, marketing is specific because, especially for AdventHealth, we're located in 9 different states, right? We have over 55 plus hospitals, and we want to make sure how we serve individuals in Orlando, it has to be different from how we serve people in Texas, with Dallas, Texas, which place we're in. And then we're also in Colorado, Denver, Colorado. And so marketing, the purpose that it serves is to ensure that the people in that community, that we can relate to them in a way that they understand, and to make sure that we're positioning ourselves in places that people would see us and say, hey, you know what? I saw that AdventHealth is the sponsor for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Yes.
And I saw that, and my son plays football, and I'm just thinking if my son happens to have any injury, first thing I could think of is I want them to go to AdventHealth, because that's where the Tampa Bay Buccaneers players get served, right? So that is, it's just the science behind making sure that we're present, that they see us and positioned right.
And I understand it was intentional that we mentioned the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, because you know that's my favorite football team.
Is it really?
For real.
Yeah, I mean that's cool. I'm not a Tampa Bay fan, but I live in Tampa, and so I'll support that.
Beautiful. Now, for those individuals who want to apply for these internships, where do they need to go to put that application in? Now, back when I was growing up, we need to get somebody's address so I can send a snail mail.
Mercy.
But I'm sure that's not how it works today.
Mercy. Yeah, no, it's very different. So, funny enough, we're here at Beta Conference, and you can see us at the booth, and we have a QR code you can scan. However, if you're not here at Beta Conference, which if you aren't, you should have been, it was amazing, but they can go online to jobs.adventhealth.com, and they should be able to find our internship.
Say that one more time.
Jobs.adventhealth.com.
And which link are they looking for?
Well, really, it's not a particular link. You could place into the search box internship program.
Internship program.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Listen, Brandon, I appreciate it. I can sit here and talk to you all afternoon.
Same.
You've given me some great insight. And again, if you want any more information about AdventHealth, go to the website that he mentioned. And thank you so much for watching.